Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cook with Janie kitchen, alias next to the garden really. It's such a beautiful day here in the autumn in the UK, and I'm going to show you an autumn fruit that can be made into a beautiful liqueur, and it's Sloe Gin. I love food for free, and sloes are available in the hedgerows in the autumn from September onwards until about, if you're lucky, January-ish. And they're little teeny tiny plums, about the size of a large blueberry or a small plum. They're the berries of the blackthorn bush. And actually they're not edible if you eat them raw. I wouldn't ever even dream of letting you try, but are very sour and bitter. When you add gin and sugar, wow, what an amazing effect that has. And I found this recipe many years ago, and in one of the River Cottage books by Pam Corbin. And here we are, we've got some little wee tiny, let me hold this bowl up here to catch the drips, I'll just show you. Little wee tiny sloes. So you can see they're all wrinkled now because they've been in the sugar and gin for several months. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decant it. I'll tell you first how to make it, and then I'm going to decant it, and you can actually make some yourself. You can also use slightly underripe plums and cherries if you wish. Sour cherries are fantastic. So what I've got here is I've got this wonderful bottle, probably about 900 mils or a liter, and I've had it sitting on my kitchen counter with the sugar and the berries, the sloes, and the gin for about 3 months now, and I'm ready to decant it and put it into bottles. Now, how did it get to this stage in the first place? Well, as you know, I love my Thermomix, and I love making recipes shorter. So what I did was I actually mixed the sugar, the gin, and the sloe berries in my Thermomix on reverse for 10 to 15 minutes. I did 15 minutes for this batch. And what that does is it saves you about half an hour to an hour on working with 400 grams of sloes. You can imagine 400 grams of sloes is pretty much when you're looking at doing this manually, because normally what you would do by hand is you'd take a darning needle and each little sloe berry you'd poke several times, maybe 10 or 12 times on each little sloe berry, so that when it comes in contact with the sugar and the gin, the beautiful juices and color will be released into the gin to make your liqueur. The Thermomix can do that for you. So if you weigh in 400 grams of sloes, 400 grams of sugar, and 550 grams of gin, then put it on reverse for 10 minutes at speed 1, then your sloe berries will just be knocked a little bit. Now you can use, and that will do the same as the darning needle effect, but no time to spend on it, and all that stirring done for you. So here we are with some London dried gin just from my local supermarket, from Waitrose. And here's a special gin, a Sipsmith, which is more natural possibly, and certainly delicious. And you can choose a gin that you like the flavor of, or that has very little flavor, so that you can actually make the recipe and add yumminess to it, which is really wonderful. And so after you've actually poured it from the Thermomix into this jar and just closed the jar and left it on your counter for several months, then what you've got now is you've actually got your Sloe Gin ready to pour out. So here we go. I'm just pouring it through a fine sieve to catch the sloes. Just the right size, this measuring jug. There's a little bit of sort of mucky stuff, thick stuff in there, which you probably don't want to put into your bottles for giving away as gifts, and that's why you use this sieve. And also just to catch your sloe berries too, which is great. And actually, I like to use these sloe berries, the gin-soaked sloe berries, to make into a jam. And if anybody's interested, you can get in touch with me and ask me how to do that. This recipe is actually on cookie dough if you have a Thermomix, and I'm just going to pop those there and put them to one side. And now what I've got is my beautiful damson gin. It's lovely and clear, it's bright, sort of purpley garnet red color, and I love using little bottles to make it pretty and make it into Christmas gifts. So for Christmas gifts, save some of your little bottles. So that's a tiny bottle, a little bit bigger one if you want to be more generous, all different shapes. So I've got all different shapes of bottles that I've saved, and just make sure that they're really, really clean with hot soapy water. No, nothing on the inside at all. The caps are clean, and I'm going to use this little bottle which had some maple syrup, some organic maple syrup in it before, and so that's a really beautiful little bottle. It's nice and heavyweight. It kind of looks like a gin bottle, which is great. And I've also got some lovely little gin bottles. This is a Hussing Tree individual gin bottle, and some friends of ours gave us these, and when I've used up the gin that's inside them, I'm going to use it for some lovely damson gin or cherry gin or plum gin. And now what you do is you just take a funnel, pop it in the bottle that you're going to use, and pour into your lovely little glass bottle. Pour carefully when you get up near the top. So there we are. And now what we've got is a beautiful bottle of damson gin, or sorry, Sloe Gin. You can see actually that I've got a lot left. About, hang on a sec, 24 ounces for those of you in the States. And I've still got about 750 mils for those of you who do decimals, and that's a really beautiful little gift. So some very special friends are going to get these gifts, and I've written out a label here. I'm just going to put a label on. So let me do that, and then I'll turn it around and show you. And here we are. I'm going to tie a ribbon around the top. If you've got that wired ribbon that you can get on eBay or Amazon or online or from a local little gift shop, then that's great. And I'm just going to tie that to make a nice little bow. I'm sure some of you can do much better jobs with your decorating, but this is pretty nice, and it just gives a lovely little festive touch to your damson gin, or Sloe Gin. I keep saying damson gin because I've made it with damsons too. So here we are with the Sloe Gin. It says made with love by Janie, and that's from the Cook with Janie kitchen. I'm just going to pop it into a bottle bag, and that will be a lovely gift. And you can make lots of your own Christmas gifts. It's so easy when you have a Thermomix, and I think during lockdown now, everybody is interested in making their own gifts. Of course, a fabulous gift would be the best ever gift, which is a Thermomix itself. And you can get that by contacting me. All my contact details are on my Facebook page, Cook with Janie. And if you have a Thermomix already, or you know somebody who does, you could buy my books, one or both. There's I Love Chocolate, I Love Thermomix, and there's also Fast and Easy Indian Cooking. Both of them have lots of gift ideas in them, as well as desserts and beautiful gifts, beautiful meals, all sorts of lovely things. If you want to get them, they're on my website, cookwithjanie.com. They're on lots of Thermomix websites, and they're on amazon.co.uk. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, there's a special discount now, and of course you get free delivery. So cheers everyone. Enjoy the Sloe Gin. Bye.